With security concerns, suspected Boko Haram terrorists have shot dead 3 students of Audia School in Gaidam local government area of Yobe State. Now, local sources in the community confirmed that the assailants pulled the 3 students from their rooms before they were shot. The attackers were said to have arrived at the school on motorcycles at about 4 a.m. today, shooting sporadically. Gaidam is more than 183 kilometers away from Damaturu, the state capital, and shares a border with Niger Republic. Now, for more on the incident, the Police Public Relations Officer of Yobe State Command, DSP Dungos Abdul Karim, joins me on the news. Good to have you join us. So let me start by asking you to tell us what you know now, the update you have on this situation, and just generally the information you have been able to gather.
To 55 hours in the morning. There was an attack in one of the Shia schools, Fudia Islamic School of Muslim Brothers of Shia. The report came to the police station at Gaidam at about 4 in the morning that there was an attack in a particular school, and our policemen mobilized to the scene where they now discovered 4 persons lying down, 3 dead, and 1 still surviving with bullet wounds in his leg. However, from there we rushed the victims to the hospital for immediate response to the injured one and the 3 in the morgue. However, we invited the head teacher for an interview where he told us that he did not have any confrontational argument or any issue affecting any organization or any bandit or Boko Haram whatsoever in the past. But the attack come as a surprise to them, because he said when they came in that morning, they broke into the school and ransacked every part of the building and collected all their clothing, cottons, and what have you, and set them ablaze. So one of the victims who is injured on the leg, he told us that when they came and they got 4 of them, they told them that they are there to convey them to the bush and kill them. So without wasting or having too much burden, they would rather kill them here and go. So they killed them and they left. So now, for now, investigation is already ongoing as to who might have perpetrated that crime. And however, there was speculation in the town that it may be members of Boko Haram who might have taken the attack. But for now, the command has not recorded anyone claiming responsibility of the attack. But investigation has
DSP Dungos, if I may quickly come in here, I wanted to also ask, beyond those who were killed, were any of the students taken?
No. Many of them have fled the school at the instant of the attack.
So let's also confirm. All right. So what is being done now in terms of investigation? And then we also understand that this community shares a border with Niger Republic. Is there also a border issue here?
Well, you see, there's a place in Gaidam. Gaidam is one of the front line local government that is suffering from insurgency attack and other banditry activities. However, there are places which were demarcated to the no-go area by the military in those places due to maybe land mines and some few activities of those bandits. Of course, Niger Republic is also adding, the border is also adding another problem there, because there are some hoodlums and criminal elements who cross those borders into Nigeria and to Gaidam to perpetrate crimes. in one way or the other, because there are a lot of incidents which we recorded that there are some people who are coming from Niger and perpetrate some activities in Nigeria and go outside. And however, we have banditry activities too, where there are a lot of records of kidnappings, demanding with minas, armed robbery, and even collecting tax from farmers in those areas by those kind of governments.
We'll get to the bottom of this issue. We'll speak to you as the investigation continues. Thank you so much for your time. DSP Dungus Abdul Karim, the Police Public Relations Officer for Yobe State Command.
Thank you for having me.
And away from Yobe to Kaduna State, where women from Kapam community, that's the host community of the Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company, were at the gate of the refinery to protest. They blocked all access to the refinery as they claim that the activities of the refinery has an effect on their health and livelihoods. We'll bring you details in this report.
The entrance of the Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company is the scene of an unusual protest. Women of the host community of Kapam, accompanied by other local residents, block access to the facility. They allege that the chemicals released by the refinery have led to a series of disturbing incidents, raising serious concerns about their health and safety.
Our animals are dying. Our crops, all, if you go inside and check, you see what is going on. We inherit what is not good, and they refuse to come out to talk to us. We are angry. We will not let anybody in. Our children are dying. Our crops are dying.
The day before yesterday, we start perceiving chemicals from refinery. That's where the things is too much. Even our goats dying, our human beings, even some men, women here, they faint.
I bought a rice farm here. I am retired. The only source is this very farm that I have. To my greatest shock, I came and made the rice farm completely black.
Yam farm that I collected loan to farm, roughly 1,500 bags of yam. Now, this chemical just came upon the whole thing and it destroyed them in totality.
The protesters turned away anyone attempting to gain entry in a display of their frustration and fear. Turnaround maintenance of the refinery is currently ongoing with the aim of reviving the facility by the 31st of December 2024. A senior staff member who spoke to us off camera acknowledged the community's concerns, revealing that an accident a few days ago led to the discharge of these chemicals. Some refinery staff later addressed the protesters, assuring them that the affected locals will be compensated for any harm caused.
So we have saw what they complained. We are going back to see our MD. So they are our neighbors. So we try as much as possible to bring support to them.
In the immediate term, Kapam community is calling for health examinations to assess the impact of the alleged chemical exposure. And in the long term, they are demanding a comprehensive compensation for all affected individuals. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Kaduna.
A climate and environment campaigner for environmental rights action, Friends of the Earth Nigeria, Babawale Obayonju, joins me on the news at 10. Good to have you join us. So I know that you've
Thank
seen...
you very much for inviting me tonight.
I know that you've seen incidents like this before, or you heard of them as well, but the plant or the refinery has given their own explanation of an incident leading to a discharge. But, you know, just from what you already know, what's the possible explanation for this?
Well, thank you very much once again. The story from the people, it's actually their experience, and it's not different from what others who have been around refineries have experienced before. I'll give you a typical example. In the year 2009, late 2008, early 2009 through 2009, the community where they had a refinery in Delta State called Ubeji suffered also from a similar kind of incident, but theirs wasn't just chemicals, theirs was soot. So all the houses around the petrochemical plant at that time had black soot on their roofs, on their wall, in their kitchen, the floor, every part of their home had soot. and they started having strange diseases thereafter. And that led to several protests, several complaints, several action, even the death of some people. So these people complaining right now for just routine maintenance, not even this full capacity production, which the government aims to do, which is to make the refinery up to speed about 60% by December. This is just routine maintenance. So let's look at it. There are several hazards that goes with refineries and those who live around refineries. Statistics have shown, and our own experience with this community people have also reviewed this, and even the United Nations Environment Program report of 2011 on the Kony land also has proven this fact. People who live around refineries, many of them are prone to asthma and other respiratory diseases. They are also prone to cancer, especially cancer of the colon, cancer of the bladder, cancer of the lungs, and prostate cancer. This is no hearsay, it's a fact, and documents are there to prove it. So these community people who have come out now to complain about a chemical, this is just one accident. When this the refinery comes to full capacity, what kind of accidents are we going to experience more?
And Mr. Bayoju, that brings to mind, because I heard, you know, one of the refinery workers talking about the compensation. People are talking about their crops being dead because of these chemicals. And I'm wondering, what kind of compensation can you give if their crops are dying and their health is at risk? And I wanted to speak to the issue of compensation.
Yeah, compensation in itself, you know, the compensation that we have seen in communities, when it comes to compensation, the companies that are involved most of the time do not compensate and cannot compensate enough for the damages that have been done. When they say they want to compensate, they might then come out and say, those who have crops on maybe 50 meters, or those who have crops on 100 meters, those who have crops on XYZ, they will be the ones who determine what kind of compensation they will offer. But the people who have suffered the loss, they know what they have lost. In this, just imagine the food that would have come from that place, maybe would have entered on my table in Benin City, for example. But now that food crop is destroyed. So who is going to compensate for the time wasted, the money spent, the energy put in? My dears, it's hard to be, that kind of compensation is hard. But the big question I would like to also ask, has a new EIA been done for this turnaround maintenance or the beginning or the restarting of this refinery? Because if an EIA was done, they would have known, for example, that these are the kind of issues that would arise and how they will solve it. But I'm hearing one of the staff saying, we are going to get our MD, our director, to know the next step to do. If there are plans already, this should not be a case. So this is a call for every one of us to sit up. Even those, like, for example, the refinery we have in Lagos, many people are buying houses around there, buying lands around there. These are potential risks that we all stand to meet if we decide to leave our refinery. And if refineries are built around people. So the people complaining, it is going to be hard to really have commensurate compensation for these community people. I don't know how that refinery is going to do it.
Well, a sad one there, but we'll continue to follow that story and see how it plays out. Thank you so much for your time. Climate Environment Campaigner for Environmental Rights Action, Friends of the Earth Nigeria, Babawale Obayonjo. All right, still to come.